everybody. Welcome back to the WCS Season 1 Finals. Got the sickest audience here at the Gangnam Studio. Bunch of hardcore Starcraft fans. And if you're watching and you just started, I hope you're a hardcore fan because we are doing nothing but analyzing these games because I am casting alone here today. As of tomorrow, it'll be all duo casts for the rest of the time, so that'll be a lot of fun. But for now, we're just kind of delving into the decisions made by the players and not screaming about the battles or really hyping very much either. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I hope you are too. So, our next match is going to be our winner's match, and it's going to be between ForGG and SOS. And I think a lot of people didn't really expect that. Hero went down very convincingly to ForGG, made a kind of small blunder when he already had a build order deficit in game number 1. And then in game number 2, Cade made kind of a blunder of doing too much at once, which we sometimes see Protosses overextend themselves in that way. So definitely some mistakes there, and 4GG went up. So we just saw SOS take out Symbol, and that was a 2-0 as well, in fact. SOS with just some very small mistakes, such as not finding a proxy pylon. So let's go ahead and take a look at those results on screen, make it all official. Oh, well, these are actually the results of the group that Wolf and Caldor are casting right now. Go ahead and check that out if you like. Innovation has gone up 2-0 against Revival. I think that surprises nobody in the entire world, including Revival's mother. Damaga against Roro looks like what they're going to be playing next. We've got to heavily favor Roro here. Roro is a champion of GSL, one of the best players in the whole world. Damaga, a great player indeed. The last foreigner. I truly hope he can make it out of there, but it's pretty hard with Roro and Innovation in the group, I gotta say. Well, as we see here, these are our results so far. 4GG 2-0ing Hero, as I said, and SOS 2-0ing Symbol, so we already know our next two matches. PVT and a PVZ. And then, of course, the loser of this one and the winner of the next will fight each other in that final match. So we actually have a lot of different matches that final match could be. It could be a TVP, a PvP, or a PVZ, or a ZBT. Wow, that's a lot of different matches. All right. So, looks like our first map for this next match is actually going to be Neoplanet S once again. Now, we saw what 4GG did here against Hero, which was a very fast command center into another very fast command center. Could work out. He could do it again against SOS, but SOS is a very different PVT player from Hero. In fact, I would say SOS has some of the very best PVT. It's very different from everyone else's. Like, Parting has extremely good PVT. He out-micros everybody in it. He does everything just about perfect. So does Rain, but in a very different way. And then we have SOS, who plays very different from both of them, but still like a godly level of PVT. All three of those players I would pretty much put money on against almost every Terran in the world, or maybe even every Terran in the world. They are so strong at it. To give you some descriptions about things that we've seen from SOS, he'll do things such as make hallucinations so that you tech wrong. Like, we saw him in one game, I think it was against Bomber. He hallucinated a bunch of High Templars and walked into range of a tower, Zelnaga Watchtower, that he knew Bomber had. Then when he cleared it, he sent the High Templars off to die by themselves as hallucinations. And then he hallucinated a Colossus, which I think got scanned. And he actually went Colossus behind it. So it was like he was trying to fake his tech root again, but it was a fake. So he's like a double agent Protoss, basically. He's going to trick you, he's going to fool you, and he's going to follow that up with great micro and macro. So he's a very dangerous player indeed. All right, well, the players are in the game. Should be jumping over to them in a moment. And again, thank you for joining us here. WCS Season Finals, a lot of fun. I think, today's kind of the warm-up day, get everything going, get through these big groups. It's a long day for everyone, a lot of games to be played, a lot of games to be casted. And then tomorrow and the next day, we're going to have just a fantastic amount of games that are amazing because it starts to be best of 5, which is where you really get the better players beating each other every time. So let's go ahead and jump into this. It looks like the game is starting. Once again, it is SOS going up against ForGG on Neoplanet S. All right. Down here in the bottom left, our red Protoss is
Wongjin Stars SOS from Korea.
And up here in the top right, our blue Terran, he is
Millennium ForGG from Europe.
all right. I'm actually really excited about this one because ForGG played very well. He has a very strong style, I would say. It's not at all unbeatable, but I think it's very good against... how do I put this? Anyone that goes like maybe at all too greedy, it's going to be really good against. Like, for instance, I feel like if we watched ForGG versus Rain in a best of 99, Rain would have a disgusting advantage at the end. You know, it would be, well, half of 99, so I guess you have to get 45 wins. I think it would be like 45 and 10 or something. Like, I think his style really counters ForGG's really well. But you have someone like Hero that's a little bit more risky at times and plays a little bit more out there style. ForGG's just kind of powerful strategy where he does things like powering, like making a lot of Hellbats, just really strong and decisive moves, is going to be good against stuff like that. Now, against someone like SOS, I'm a little bit more torn because I feel like he's a little bit more like Hero than like Rain, let's say. So I'm not exactly sure how that'll end up going. Looks like this will probably be a proxy Oracle build. Can't say 100% for certain. That is kind of a place that you can guess there might be a proxy Oracle, and oh my god. Okay, so... Oh, that's not that weird, really. It's a 1-Rax expand, but 1-Rax expand can be a little bit dangerous because you're going to be relying just on Marines. And let's see what's going to throw down here. See in just a second. I think it is going to be that start. There it is. Okay, so he is going to be rallying in Oracles very, very quickly. Now, if ForGG happens to go down and scout this right now, he may be able to put on enough pressure to prevent the Stargate from really getting production going. And the other part of this is, this doesn't have to be all in. Like, you can proxy a Stargate and get 1 Oracle out of it, and as long as you don't lose it for a long time, it's very worthwhile. You can lose the Stargate and everything, it doesn't really matter that much. Of course, nice to keep it alive, but you aren't going to make a lot of Stargate units in this matchup. Now, the Marines are actually scouting for things such as Proxy Oracle. You can see that they already scouted that top 3, that third base area. In fact, they're coming down here, so this is going to give him a heads up. I think the Oracle will definitely pop out, and in fact, he can't risk attacking the pylon there. Even though the Oracle just started, he doesn't know. It could be a little bit further along, in which case it pops out, kills his 3 Marines, he never gets enough Marines, he dies. So he has to walk back, and he has to turtle up. He's grabbing that engineering bay, and already this is being a pretty effective Oracle, just by the fact that he's forcing him to turtle so heavily against it. Notice no SCVs left here, very intelligent by ForGG. He's got right now, it looks like about 5 Marines waiting for it. So he has enough right now to hold it off. SOS just going to fly on by. As long as he doesn't lose this Oracle, he's in good shape. I kind of like that. It's a little bit cute. He's trying to lure some Marines down there. Another Oracle is on the way right now. And just by making a second Oracle, that gives him a lot more power to actually take out Marines or SCVs, whatever. Just hitting multiple locations at once makes it much more powerful. But missile turrets already being created. ForGG is not screwing around against this. Very smart of him to grab a missile turret in each line immediately. Some okay micro here by SOS. Not the absolute best. A little bit better micro, and he'd have 2 more kills. And it looks like, the Oracle harassment definitely not done, but the period of time during which it was possible for him to get critical damage done is gone. So now he's just going to fly around and do things exactly like this, where he picks off whatever he can and tries not to lose his Oracles. Flies out, lets them recharge, both on their shields and their energy. And then later on, of course, he can do things like tag a bunch of stuff with the Revelation. Probably won't really use them for detection. No one really does that. It's like a emergency button for PvP only. Alright, so, the thing is, he is pretty safe behind this, right? He's got the 2 Oracles, which is going to force the Marines to not venture too far from home. He has the Mothership Core ready for Nexus Cannon, and he has a couple sentries, so he can actually block off ramps, block off little areas, and split Marine forces in half. No real damage can be done to him, so SOS can kind of do what he wants from here. And again, this Proxy Oracle, doesn't matter that he lost the Stargate. I swear to you, he doesn't really care. He was not really going to get more than 2 Oracles unless something went terribly wrong for ForGG. So this is what we call an active unit, the Oracle. This is something where, with the excess APM that SOS has, the excess actions that he has each minute that he doesn't need to use, creating probes, creating pylons, getting his tech up, expanding scouting, all that, he can put into these units and gain value. Values such as forcing extra turrets, killing SCVs, killing scouts, picking off Marines, anything at all. They're just very valuable in this way. Now, I really like this follow-up, the fact that he's going straight into Psystorm here. It's quite cool because this is going to deter Vikings, which is going to allow for him to keep those Oracles active longer. And of course, when you have High Templars out and you have Oracles out tagging things, you can get more feedbacks off on average than normal. So that's going to be helpful as well. Oh no, the Oracles are dead. That's too bad. Well, he did what he could with them. A little bit unfortunate that he did lose those, though. Perhaps he should not have had them both at the same spot. With those both at the same spot with the amount of damage they took, maybe they would have taken out 5 or 6 Marines, but there was never going to be that many that were actually alone, without the bigger clumps. So, yeah, it was probably a wrong decision to actually have them flying around together, but it's not the biggest deal in the whole world. It would just be really good if he still had them. It's not like he's going to lose because of it. Well, a little bit annoying, those 2 Marines. Actually, slightly surprised he cast that right there. Looks like he's just trying to buy time for Psystorm. And there you go. Now he has had to use the extra force fields. That's why I was a bit surprised, because if you're buying time for the Psystorm, the Nexus Cannon, yeah, sometimes that gets them to run, but that's 100 energy on 1 unit. He just used that, and then he had to use 150 on the other 3 units total. Would have been better actually just to force field again rather than throw down the Nexus Cannon. So a little bit of overkill defense there. So now he has Psystorm, and the next order of business is going to be to either attack or go take another base. And realistically, he has 5 warp gates, 2 more on the way. He's going to be taking another base. So right now he's just kind of getting ready to push out. And there's actually a Widow Mine on the way. This is really kind of cool. You don't really see Widow Mines in this matchup after the first few minutes of the game, so the fact that he's grabbing a Widow Mine, this could be because you expect Warp Prism harassment during this, but this could be just because it's Charge Lot High Templar, and having a few Widow Mines back for defense can make all the difference in the world. If you just get like 1 or 2 lucky Widow Mine shots, those Zealots are going to take so much splash damage. So here's that 3rd base that SOS is going to be taking, and looks like, I wonder about this probe. It looks like he's going to go make a proxy pylon, which is fine, because putting on pressure when you have Psystorm and they don't have Ghosts is never a terrible idea. Or very, very rarely a terrible idea. And in fact, ForGG is going ahead and throwing up a lot of bunkers because of that. But I feel like a 3rd Nexus is in order right now. And in fact, we have a Widow Mine drop coming in. Oh, wow. And that cannon, I'm not sure that can actually see that. Oh, it can. Okay, never mind. So, really good cannon. And, in fact, he's kind of pushing forward on both areas here. Wow, that was actually really, really lucky of SOS. I'm surprised he ended up getting that. But he's pushed ForGG way back. The thing is, I do, once again, want to say, I feel like he should have a third Nexus making at this moment. He does have a lot of High Templars and a lot of Zealots, and he may actually just go for the kill. But he's also on 7 gates, which normally if you go for the kill with this type of strategy, you're going to have 8 gates. And in fact, he's going for Colossus Tech, so I am still waiting to see that third base go up. Well, right now we do have to continue to move forward. We have ForGG actually turning around. Going to start the kiting a little bit. Really money-sized storm right there. Dealing a ton of damage to those Marines. And we do have Hellbat production on the way, as well as a second factory, so it's a good thing he's switching into Colossi, because these Zealots are going to be just shredded pretty soon. Now, ForGG may think he just delayed the third base, but actually third base is being taken up here, so kind of an interesting location to take it. The one problem with that location up top, it's going to be maybe a little bit better against drops for a few reasons. You know, it's in line with the rest of your bases completely, but there's a hill right next to it. So when Terran comes over that hill and starts kiting you back up it, you can lose vision of their army quite often. And that can make it really hard to actually land your Psy Storms and Force Fields and choose exactly how to control your units going up that hill. The high ground advantage becomes pretty strong for Terran there. So we don't see that as often as the third base, but it's not necessarily something that's bad in this situation. Okay, so the Ghost Academy is coming a little bit late here for the High Templars. They're still going to be able to get a lot of damage done. And in fact, this is a really nice attack there, but he's definitely going to lose his third. Whereas he's really only making ForGG lift off, but he did kill a lot of SCVs, which is nice. Now, he is pushing forward into this natural. Beautiful Psy Storm goes down. A couple of them. 3 of them, in fact. Really good ones, but those Hellbats are being pretty effective, and the units coming up from behind are doing a lot of damage as well. And this is actually just suddenly going in ForGG's favor pretty heavily. Some okay size storms, kills a decent amount of workers so far. Not as many in that natural as maybe he could have gotten. And as we see in the Resources Lost tab, it is in ForGG's favor. But that just kind of all went south at once. The units coming up from behind really messed with the AI of SOS's army. You know, some of his units ran behind, then his High Templars kind of were sitting there with sentries fighting a Marauder Marine force. So that didn't work out so well. Now, this is a big army, and in fact, these Zealots should be able to be taken out very easily, and that's going to leave just Psystorm and Colossus. So we might actually, if he kites just right, he might be able to spread and actually kill the Colossi. And in fact, I think SOS just realized that, and he is going to be getting out of here. Good thing he ran away with those Colossus that time, and if he had waited 2-3 more seconds, he may have ended up losing one of those. Well, right now, taking a look at the actual units here, even though we have a kind of low SCV count for ForGG, this is kind of rough for SOS. There's 14 Hellbats, 7 Medivacs, and 15 Marauders out right now for ForGG. Whereas the army for SOS is a small amount of Zealots at 5. Then he has a bunch of Colossus and 2 High Templars. That is not an army that can really do anything against this. Yeah, you're going to deal a lot of splash damage right off the bat, but they're going to run through it and target you down. And Psystorms don't stack, so it's kind of weird how this suddenly switched around like that. Like, SOS just hasn't had a third base mining, so he doesn't have that extra set of warp gates. He doesn't have, you know, the very important, like, 10 warp gates warping in round after round of units to actually give him the muscle, the hit points to go with all of his splash. Because He's got an insane amount of splash damage right now. Just nothing to keep that splash damage alive long enough to deal its damage. So losing High Templar there. And beautiful move by ForGG, just stemming up a few Marauders, picking off 2 High Templars with 0 losses there. That is a lot of Hellbats. And this is going to be tough. They look, these Vikings, beautiful positioning there, waiting for the Colossus to walk out. And he doesn't have a lot of anti-air, just 4 Stalkers there. Going to pull back a little bit, but this is a huge amount of damage being done. Look at that, all those probes going down the Nexus as well. And ForGG looking really solid here. Nice Side Storm goes down, but now we're going to have Zealots go up a ramp into the Hellbats. Kind of a brutal battle that we're watching here. And this pretty much seals the game off. There's no real possibility for ForGG to lose from here. In fact, we should be seeing GG pretty shortly. With less than 30 supply left against 113, GG. All right, well, ForGG continues with the perceived upsets, taking out some of the best Protosses in Korea so far. That's a pretty strong game number 1. As far as SOS goes, I felt like he actually opened quite well. He played a good game. The third base choice where he put it was a little bit weird. He never had really like the mothership core. He left it at home to help deal with drops, but he didn't have enough vision of the map and what was going on to really make the right decisions about where to move. If he had known that army's walking around, does he go and just go kill SCVs and force a lift at the third? Whereas he knows he's going to lose his third. Kind of some interesting choices with the speed of it as well, because once he stopped that initial aggression and he had Psystorm against a Terran that had no ghosts, he could have easily taken that third because, well, when you have ghosts with you have no ghosts against the Psystorm, Protoss gets really cost efficient. It's easy to get a lot of High Templars out quite quickly, so I did feel like that was a little bit delayed and he was kind of hemming and hawing on where to take it. So a little bit indecisive, perhaps, on exactly what he wanted to get done. So ForGG takes that win, and the next map, Belshir Vestige. As far as PvT goes here, I think it's a pretty good map for the matchup, but I like it a little bit more on the Protoss side personally. Just kind of the shape of it, and it feels pretty good for PvT. But ForGG has shown us that the map doesn't really matter all that much to him, so I don't know if SOS is really going to have that big of an advantage here. For Belshir, what types of strategies are we likely to see? Well, it's kind of like the natural's very easy to take for both races. The Mothership Core is going to allow the Nexus to cover that ramp completely. No way to really run past it and go up, like you'd see on a map like maybe Aklon, where the Terran can be like, oh, okay, I'll just run up that ramp then. So will we see early aggression from ForGG? If we do, I think it'll be in the form of drops, as opposed to like a heavy frontal attack. And in fact, that game we did see kind of a heavy frontal attack from him. Wasn't the most committed thing, but he was at least pushing in there and forced some energy to be used. Now, from SOS, does he go for something like a Proxy Oracle? Definitely could on this map. In fact, I'd say it might be as good on this map as it is on the Neoplanet S that we just saw. So definitely could be seeing something like that. All right, well, the game looks like it is beginning, so we're just going to go ahead and jump right in there.